Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Million Dollar Arm, which is a movie that actually comes out next week, but Disney decided, hey, we're going to do a little secret special screening or something like that, where you still have to pay money, but you can see it early. And of course I did yesterday. I saw it. Of course, this is the movie that comes out with Godzilla next week, so no one gives a damn about it, so I'm here to review it, just in case you do give a damn. I actually did. I was actually looking forward to it. I like sports movies that are about like pretty much an underdog, pretty much, and especially since it's a true story. I loved 42 last year, so I was hoping I was going to get the same vibe from this one. Did I? Well, let's talk about it with the story. Story for Million Dollar Arm is based on a true story, and yes, I know, there are tons and tons of movies that like to say in either the trailer or in the beginning of the film that it is in fact based on a true story, inspired by true events, or it's based on the memoir or of whoever the hell. There's so many movies. I think out of the last maybe 50 movies I've seen in theaters, I think maybe half of them were based on true stories. And of course, most of them actually really weren't based on true stories. Hell, I even think, yeah, The Quiet Ones, that horror movie with ghosts and shit, that was based on a true story. No, it wasn't? Anyway, I bet Godzilla, when it comes out, it's going to say based on true events. Okay. So anyway, the story for Million Dollar Arm is actually based on a true story. So that whole rant was for no reason, because this one is actually based on a true story. It follows J.B. Bernstein, played by Jon Hamm, who is a sports agent who loses his biggest contract to date, which means he most likely will lose his business and most likely won't be able to pay his bills, and you know, his life is pretty much ruined. But the thing is that, alright, he watches TV. He's watching cricket, which was on for some reason. He just starts watching it, and he's just like, you know what? I've got a good idea. You know what? India, people play cricket a lot there. But, you know, I mean, cricket's not very similar to baseball that much. I mean, you hit a stick with a ball, sure. But in India, they pitch. They pitch in cricket. So he's just thinking to himself, you know what? If we can get a pitcher from India to come over to America, train in baseball, maybe that will work. So he holds, of course, a big contest in India. A bunch of people try out, and he actually finds a couple of people. And he finds a couple of pretty damn good pitchers there. A couple of kids played by the guy from Life of Pi, who played Pi, the younger version of Pi. Cops. And the other one's played by Slumdog Millionaire's brother, which is good. So anyway, he brings them back to America, and of course it's really hard for them because they don't know how to play baseball, even though it's, you know, pitching is similar kind of, but it's still a very stressful game, especially for someone that has no idea how to play it. And of course, it's about a lot of bad stuff that happens, blah, blah, blah. You kind of know what's going to happen here. It's a fish out of water story with these kids. And it's very likable. It's a very likable story. It really is. Especially since it's based on a true story, but it's also very formulaic. Even if you don't know the story behind the true story that happened, which I didn't. I knew what was going to happen at the end. It was very, very obvious. But still, the lead up to that was a lot of fun, especially since all the actors gave it, I wouldn't say gave it their all, but they were having a good time in their role. They were having a lot of fun, and you could feel the chemistry. Jon Hamm is really charming in this film, even though at first he's kind of a dick. He is. I mean, he starts off as kind of a jerk. I mean, he's the agent, so he has to be kind of a jerk sometimes, especially since his business isn't shaping up the way he wants it to, and he's getting screwed over left and right. So, I mean, you kind of feel for him at first, especially since he's not a huge dick. I mean, sure, sometimes he blames people that have, you know, nothing to do with whatever happened, but still, he's not a huge dick. And then later on, of course, he actually becomes a more nice guy. Now, if he was actually nice in real life, I'm not sure. You know, agents can go either or, from what I've heard. They could be a huge dick, or they can be nice guys until you drop them, and then they're huge dicks. I don't know. But, this, you know, from what I've seen in the movie, he seems like a cool dude. And Jon Hamm was really good as him. Of course, the two kids, like I said, Slumdog Millionaire Kid and Life of Pi Kid, I cannot remember their names. I know that sounds really bad considering they're Indians, and or they're from India. And, well, actually, I don't know if they're actually from India. I mean, they look like it, but I don't know if the actors are actually from India. Anyway, I'm burying myself. I'm just going to stop. Anyway, they're really good in this film. Lake Bell is also really good in this, who is the obvious love interest of Jon Hamm's character, or person, whatever. She's really good in this too. She's actually very likable, very funny. I really like Lake Bell. She's very attractive too. Really like her. And Asif Manvi from Tonight Show, I think he's from Tonight Show, is really good in this as well. He plays the partner of Jon Hamm, He's the one who helps them out and whatever. He's good too. So the acting is really good from everybody. Also, of course, Alan Arkin's in it, and he has a pretty short role, but he's actually really likable too. Everybody's very likable, has very good chemistry with one another. Everybody's likable. So I really enjoyed the acting. The dialogue itself isn't the best out there, but the acting is good enough to hold the kind of stale dialogue at times. I thought it was a lot of fun. Now, even though this is a baseball film, I should say that there really isn't much baseball here. It's very much like that movie Draft Day that came out recently, which was okay. I kind of liked it. That movie was all about kind of like the characters and the statistics and stuff like that. This movie's not about statistics, but it's more about the characters. You don't really see any baseball at all. You see little archival footage shots here and there of baseball and stuff. You get to see people throw a ball. That's about it. If you want to see a bunch of people throw a ball real fast, then you could see that, sure. But it's really not about the baseball. It's about the characters or the people. They're not characters. They're real people. It's about Rinku and oh wow, Depeche. Danish. No, it's Danish. Those are the two characters' names. I know it sounds like I'm just speaking nonsense and gibberish like Rinku and Danish, but no, those are the two characters' names or the real kids' names, and you really care about them. You want to see what's going to happen with them. You want to see what happens with JB and of course Brenda. Are they going to get together? I don't know. It's pretty obvious, but you just want to see what happens, and even though it's obvious, it's still a lot of fun getting there. Especially since Disney has that way with that soundtrack where it's just like, oh, here's some uplifting music here and there, and it's pretty much telling you exactly how you should feel at any moment of the movie. It's like, oh, here's this whimsical tune, you should feel very, very, very whimsical, and oh, you should feel uplifted and stuff. Which might seem a little bad considering that you should actually have to feel those emotions yourself. But you know what? I still like the soundtrack in this as well. Whatever. I don't care. Screw it. I like Disney. I like when they pretty much tell me exactly what emotion I should feel. I don't care. You know, any other movie studio? No, that's terrible. Disney, they know how to do it right. Okay? So, thank you, Disney. I knew what to feel. So anyway, I really enjoyed this film. There's not much to say about it, really. I mean, it's just really about characters talking, a lot of really funny scenes here and there, a lot of really good humor being thrown back and forth, and some really good character drama at times. You really do feel for these kids in this film because they're so far away from home, and even at home, it's kind of a crap. It's kind of a crappy place to live. There's a couple of problems I do have, like, I think they focus too much on JB. They should probably focus more on the kids, considering it is really their story. Now, don't get me wrong. I think JB should have been a big major part, but I think it should have been like a triple threat starring role thing. You know, I think it should have been all three of them on the poster. Like that was the big thing about the film, like their relationship or something like that. But it really wasn't. It was more like JB's story, which is kind of lame. But still, I really enjoyed this film. I have to give it, I'm going to give it a 30 out of a 40. I really did enjoy, I was about to say Slumdog Millionaire, $1 Million Arm. Definitely go check it out when it comes out next week, but go see Godzilla first. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like that better anyway. So, there you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and goodbye.